In the meantime, let's get you details of the 2022 Coimbatore cylinder blast case. The NIA has charge-sheeted 5 accused. The charge sheet that details explosive details that are now coming across as far as the charges that have been leveled by the NIA, saying that the bomber was apparently inspired by the ISIS and had planned to wage war on non-believers. As far as the NIA investigation that has been revealing that prior to the attack, the accused had also been holding meetings. And also when it comes to the other individuals who had been arrested by the NIA formerly in Coimbatore in 2019 for promoting violent ideology as well. Vashni is with us right now. Vashni, what does the NIA charge sheet say?
Well, this particular charge sheet from the National Investigation Agency, which has been investigating the matter since 2022 October, wherein this blast took place one day prior to Diwali, and it shook the entire state of Tamil Nadu with a cylinder cylinder blast that took place right in in front of Kota Ishwaran temple in Coimbatore city. And since then the investigation has taken many turns, and it was in fact a suicide bomber, Jamesha Mubin, who died during the blast, and then there were several others being arrested in this matter in connection with him. And so far the NIA has filed charge sheets. The primary one had almost 12 people who were arrested, and then 3 more supplementary charge sheets. A total of 4 charge sheets have been filed so far, and now 17 accused have been arrested in these and have been charge sheeted in this case so far. And what the National Investigation Agency says about the findings that they have been exploring every other day is that as of now they believe that these people have been considering themselves self-proclaimed ISIS caliphs, and that they wanted to teach a lesson to the non-believers, and that is why they planned for this attack. And that is what they've been able to uncover from the investigation about what kind of a conspiracy these people were coming up with. And that is exactly what the NIA has spoken about in its recent press release regarding this Coimbatore bomb blast that took place in 2022. And right now we are given to understand that this investigation is still underway. There are so many other angles they are exploring, and investigation could lead to many more charge sheet as well, is what we are given to understand. So we'll have to wait for the further investigation details to come out as well.
So this is a press release by the NIA, which has come out to say as far as when it comes to 5 more persons who have been charge sheeted in the ISIS-inspired Coimbatore car blast case from 2022, in which the suicide bomber who perpetrated the blast was killed. And this is the 4th supplementary charge sheet that has been filed as far as against the individuals are also concerned. With this, a total of 17 accused have been charge sheeted in the case so far, and the charges for terror financing that has also been taken up when it comes to orchestrating fake COVID vaccine certificates as well, using funds earned from scams to procure materials for explosives, and also providing funds generating fake certificates. That seems to be the involvement there. And the NIA investigations also revealed that prior to the attack, the accused held meetings at when it comes to locations to plan conspiracy, and their objective was to avenge imprisonment of the leader who had been arrested by the NIA from Coimbatore in 2019 for promoting a violent ideology. So this is how, when it comes to the NIA press release, in its latest charge sheet, that NIA has filed a set of charges for terror financing. And what is being said, Vashni, that against those individuals who had also been charge sheeted in other offences in the case?
Absolutely, yes, because initially when Jamesha Mubin conducted this, a blast which was in fact a suicide bombing, after that immediately his friends, his relatives, people who were in connection with him through phone and through people who he met, prior to the October 2022, wherever he traveled, everything was probed by the NIA, and there was 12 people arrested so far. Now, if you see, there are 5 other people, which include Sheikh Hidayatullah, Umar Farooq, Pavas Rahman, Sharan Mariappan and Abu Hanifa are the latest 5 people to join the list of accused. And now what we are given to understand that they also have a criminal history where they have been already named as accused in offences like fake COVID vaccine certifications, scam which happened in 2021 and 2022, and also to, like you said, the terror financing,
Dr.
which is
Vikram
also
Singh is connected with us. Varshini, just cutting you short for a quick answer. Dr. Singh, what you have to say as far as the Coimbatore card blast case is concerned, the investigation moving forward with the NIA charge sheeting 5 more men for ISIS-inspired attack?
This is on very expected lines, and I would like to compliment the investigators for a very professional investigation conducted. The footprints of the ISIs indeed is a matter of very grave concern. We till now believe that perhaps only a few states were impacted by the footprints of the ISIS. Now the radicalization, the footprints, and in fact the activities of the ISIS have reached almost every corner. And this is a wake-up call for the country and also of the world. Let a resolute nation identify, apprehend, and give a befitting reply within the ambit of law to those who try to disrupt the nation and try to weaken it. I would say that detailed interrogation, follow-up, the literature, the jihadi literature, and more importantly, the lifeline of the funds that come from the Middle East that needs to be choked. We still now had the demonetization. We also had the crackdown on real estate and the shell companies, but now the cryptocurrency in the Hawala network has to be broken. I think we are on the right track. It's only a matter of time before ISIS is totally eliminated from the country.
All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Singh, for joining us for that quick reaction. However, when it comes to the Coimbatore blast case, there is also, as far as when it comes to the allegiance to ISIS, self-proclaimed caliph and aimed at targeting non-believers as part of their extremist ideology. This came to be a part on which has been included in its press release itself in the Coimbatore car blast case in the year 2022. Now, this has been as far as when it comes to the ideology itself, Varshini, that has been pointed out by the NIA no less in its press release, where it is calling out some kind of a concerted effort to target non-believers. What has been mentioned as far as the attack was concerned, it was all inspired by ISIS.
Well, absolutely, yes. Like you're mentioning, this is very important to note because while the investigation was happening at the beginning of this case, it was very clearly, spoken about how there is a very huge nexus of radicalization that is happening in, across the country in several parts, but particularly in a city like Coimbatore in Tamil Nadu, there is a polarization, a radicalization that is happening under very closed doors, and that is the main angle of the investigation that NIA took up, and that is how they had one by one connected the dots and took every single person under custody. If we remember, Jamesha Mubin in 2022, he was the NIA found out that he was ordering these explosive materials and chemicals online, and he was researching about what kind of chemicals to use as well, and while searching on the internet. Therefore, everything was available, and that is how he contacted his friends and asked them to order these products, and that is how this terror financing angle is also coming into the picture, because this was the money that was used to buy explosives, is what the NIA's recent statement says. Now, when we look back as to how this investigation began, that is when it is making more sense about how Jamesha Mubin was able to, procure all these explosive materials to, come up with that particular cylinder which he made in order to conduct that blast, which happened right in front of Kota Ishwaran temple in Coimbatore. And now, with seeing the number of people involved and their relation to Jamesha Mubin is also very startling, because the previous arrest we saw, his brothers, his nephews and friends of friends all being arrested, and now we are seeing another 5 people being arrested who are the ones who helped him get the finances for the creation of this entire plan. All of this is why that a very tragic incident took place. Though there were no casualties from the public or the civilian side, it was definitely a very scary incident that took place, because it also holds a lot of religious sentiment when these kind of things happen in a state which is always considered to be very secular to live and very peaceful to live. So that is why this investigation is very important to understand how this is all working beneath the screen, so that such things can be prevented in the future.
All right, Varshini, thanks very much for joining us at the moment and getting us those details. I'm also joined by my colleague Meenakshi, who's getting us more details of this NIA charge sheet that has been detailing what exactly has been found. Meenakshi, go ahead.
Well, absolutely. So the NIA charge sheet details, the entire plot. Now, it's also Times Now Newsbreak confirmed. I'm sure, as you'd remember, our viewers would remember earlier also, this was back, almost a year ago that we had outed, through our sources, this possible ISIS plot, this radicalization. And now this is detailed in the NIA charge sheet. 5 more accused have been charge sheeted. Another key point, this is in the 2022 Coimbatore car bomb blast case, as you were also telling our viewers. Now, the operative part from this press release, and if my camera person could also focus here, I'm going to read it verbatim. NIA press release says in the latest charge sheet, they filed a fresh set of charges of terror financing against the accused. And then both of the accused have been charge sheeted earlier as well for other offences. They had accused and they had orchestrated a fake vaccine certificate. Also going on then to talk about how, the suicide bombing was reportedly carried out. And then they go on to detail a possible ISIS plot, saying that the accused Mubin had pledged allegiance to ISIS's self-proclaimed caliph. Now, this is the operative part, how, the accused was self-radicalized and sort of, by the ISIS ideology. Then going on to say the idea, why was, this sort of attack carried out? The aim, according to the NIA, was to target, quote-unquote, non-believers, as the accused called them, as a part of the extremist ideology.
All right, Meenakshi, I'm also joined on the broadcast by Kovai Satyan. Let me quickly go across to him of the AIADMK. Kovai Satyan, your first reaction to the details that have now emerged on the Coimbatore blast.
Yeah, it's truly shocking to note the radicalization and the links to ISIS, which is perceived to be a global threat, and that has got roots in Tamil Nadu, that too in Coimbatore, is truly shocking. What's more shocking is the statement by Chief Minister M.K. Stalin then stating that it was just a cylinder blast. Clearly shows the lackadaisical attitude and the complete failure of the state intelligence. And only when DMK come to power, these kinds of incidents sprung up. 1998, the Syrian bomb blast. Now this. It clearly shows the priority of the DMK government. The priority is looting and family, not the welfare of the people.
Mr. Satya, now that these details are out, what would your next few steps be?
Let the Chief Minister agree that it is an act of terror first. That's what's more important. The people needs to know what has happened in the state and what action the state has taken and why there was such an intelligent failure, that the responsibility lies with the state government who has the power, and the Chief Minister should take up the responsibility on his shoulders and ensure that the gateway is being given for NIA to investigate further and deepen its search. The state police should also cooperate with them.
Okay.
That's what it is expected.
All right, Mr. Kovai Satyan, thanks very much for joining us on Times Now. Let me quickly go across to my colleague Varshini, who has been getting us the details and the developments in this entire case as the NIA releases the details of the charge sheet. Varshini, of course, the opposition upping the ante against the state government as far as the law and order situation is concerned. Any word from the government yet on what the NIA has stated?
After the incident took place in October in 2022, within a couple of days, the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, M.K. Stalin, gave out, an announcement saying that it would only be right for the government to hand over all the, case details to the NIA to conduct a fair and free investigation in this matter, because when the Coimbatore City Police was initially, conducting an investigation over it, even special investigation teams were formed.
I'll come back to you. Right now on the broadcast, I'm joined by Vinod P. Selvam of the BJP. Vinod P. Selvam, the opposition now upping the ante against, the state government, questioning the law and order situation as the NIA details the charge sheet and releases those details of the charge sheet. Your first reaction and your response?
Ma'am, we should keep in mind that when this bomb blast happened, the government and the police were very keen to just declare this as a cylinder blast initially. They wanted to cover up and make sure that this was pushed under the rug. But due to extensive pressure, the matter was handed over to the NIA, and luckily today we are able to find out very shocking details of the actual state of situation in cities like Coimbatore, which happens to be Tamil Nadu's second largest city. It is rather unfortunate and it's very scary that the ISIS has been able to penetrate the state during the rule of the DMK. They feel that DMK is a free pass for such miscreants, people with intentions to create communal harmony and damage the state as a whole, can have a free run in the state during the DMK's rule. That is the kind of confidence they've got. The minority appeasement has not helped either the community nor the state in any way, but in fact damaged them. The vote bank politics of the DMK is now turning out to be a menace for the state. And we are happy that the NIA today has charge sheeted and the truth has come out. This is not only in Coimbatore. The similar situation is happening across the state in many pockets. And we are wishful that the NIA would rather act across, because we don't expect anything out of the DMK. The DMK is going to continue its appeasement because that is the only way they can even get any votes in the next 2026 assembly elections. In fact, you cannot even expect a statement to come out from any of the DMK spokesperson on this subject of this matter. The assembly has been going on. The chief minister should have spoken about this, but he rather talk about imaginary issues like delimitation and Hindi imposition. He forgets the actual issues like terrorism being bred on Tamil Nadu, in Tamil soil, under his watch. He doesn't talk about that. In fact, the police department comes under his direct watch, under his home ministry. But he will not be speaking about all of this. He will rather choose to speak about imaginary issues. He'll oppose NEET, he'll oppose NEP, and he'll forget the actual issues plaguing the state.
Okay, Mr. Vinod P. Selvam, thanks very much for joining us on Times Now. I'm also joined by my senior news editor, Bhavtosh Singh, who's been tracking the developments and getting us a perspective on what this means. Bhavtosh, get us more details and the entire detailing that NIA has done as far as this charge sheet is concerned. Shocking revelations coming to the fore.
Yes, in fact, this is the fourth supplementary charge sheet that has been filed by the National Investigation Agency. And this case is one of the top priorities as far as the Federal Probe Agency is concerned. As far as the latest charge sheet is concerned, what NIA has found is something which is very shocking. Now, the accused in this case, the mastermind in this case, Jamshid Mobin, was also investigated earlier in the Easter bombing of in which a large number of the accused, in fact, in Sri Lanka, were killed in Sri Lanka. And subsequent to that, what NIA has now found is that the two accused in this case, Sheikh Hidayatullah as well as Omar Farooq, they had set up a fake COVID vaccine certificate camp between 2021 and 2022. Now, they collected money from that and then subsequently used that money to finance terror activities and then use that money to get explosives. Now, interestingly, when they were purchasing explosives in the second supplementary charge sheet, what NIA had said is that they procure these explosives from e-commerce site, and then they gathered those explosives, and then they used those explosives to assemble the explosives at their home, and then used a old car, a Maruti 800 car, and then they carried out the recce in Coimbatore. And Jamshid Mobin was someone who had taken oath of allegiance online, and then he was the one who wanted to, in fact, view himself outside the temple. It was sheer luck that that whole planning did not actually happen. Yes, there are allegations that Tamil Nadu police, in fact, delayed the investigation, did not immediately hand over the investigation to NIA, but these charges were, in fact, denied by Tamil Nadu government. But since NIA had taken over the investigation, they have found evidence that those in fact involved in the Easter bombing in Sri Lanka had links with the Coimbatore terror attack.
All right, Bhavtosh, thank you very much for joining us at the moment, getting us those details. Also, thanks to Varshini, my colleague, who had been getting us the latest from Tamil Nadu. With that, viewers, we're slipping into a short break. News and updates will continue on the other side. Stay tuned.